Hey guys, how are you all this evening?
What's up? What's up?
What's up, everybody?
So that's my girl Danielle, that's my girl Nima, and I am Kiana, or AKA Kiwi, Hustle Woman. That's what they call me. So
Feeling
guys,
in heels.
hustler in heels, the ultimate hustler in heels. So tonight's topic is what it's like dating over 40. This should be interesting. Danielle, would you like to go and give your spin on it?
I think dating over 40 is hard. I think for women, I think more so it's hard. I don't know, there's been a shift. Just if you think about how we grew up in the early 90s, the type of men, even though I can only speak for myself, like I'm from an urban area, from Brooklyn, grew up in the hood. Even though some of those guys may have been into doing the wrong things, it still was a certain value or moral code or standing that they held. Men dated you. Like they courted you. They wanted to date. There was no social media. So you had to somebody you might have had a beeper number. Or they you know what I'm saying? They sky
What about
pager.
a
I don't
two-way page view?
pager, exactly. Or a sky
Mhm.
I could take it even further back. It's a sky pager. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like or a cell phone. So it left more to the pursuit of
Yeah.
dating. Like men actually wanted to date you. Like of course, they wanna but that whole dance that we do in dating, male, female, I feel like it was more of a pursuit. Now these men be wanting you to pursue them.
Mm.
Like they don't wanna a lot of them don't wanna, step up. You might get a good morning text, a good morning beautiful, a good morning, but like what happened to picking up the phone and
You
calling
why?
me and asking me like, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Like how you feeling? Like, well, my day was messed up, but I'm just calling to see if you had a good day. You understand? Like we don't get I feel like as women, like I don't know, there's a shift that took place. And we're just like my principal the other day told me, she's a little bit older than me. I ain't gonna put her age up there. But she was like, girl, stay with who you with. She was like, cause this dating pool out here, it's like pea water. It is horrible, girl.
Straight rancid.
Do it. So I don't know. I
Oh.
think it's just I don't know. There's just a different kind of tone. How do you feel, Nima?
Well, it's definitely a different tone, but we're in a different time, and men are more, wanting to be us on the opposite side of life, today too. So we dealing with men in identity crisis. We dealing with men that's being pursued by they homeboy, you know what I mean? And it's they being confused, and then you got men that's trying to still do this and be undercover and still try to act the same. And it's just, and then it's so many single men and single women, they can't decide because it's free, it's so much free for all out here. It's not like it used to be, I mean, honestly, for me, used to be like men would meet you and they like you mine, period. Like it wasn't all of this extra, it wasn't men trying to sample everything first to see, which one is the best fit. It was men used to be like, you're single, I'm single, I like you, you like me, we together. Like that's how I got every boyfriend that I ever had. It was never me courting somebody for a very long time, and seeing if I'm gonna be their girl. It wasn't like that. So it's definitely different. It's definitely challenging, but at the same time, our men are going through a lot, and it doesn't matter. From what I'm understanding, it doesn't matter the race. You know, I feel that the foreign men are on more of still the same level because their morals, a lot of them are still the same, but a lot of them are even flipping over and being undercover too. So it's it's very challenging. It's very, very challenging. And you just don't even, it's so many different rules and it's so many different tests you got to do now to know if he down for you or if he on
Right.
the down low or if he, it's so much that honestly,
It's exhausting.
I'm tired. There's no protection, men used to protect us. Men,
Yeah.
it's a little scary also for me. I don't know. I can tell you I'm getting them. I will tell you at dating over 40, I don't know if y'all got sons, but y'all better protect them because I might be coming for I be coming because I got the little youngest is on me. And I was totally against it, but at the end of the day, I ain't gonna hold you. These diabetics and
I
these high
cannot.
This
blood
girl
pressures
here,
and
I
these
can't.
strokes and
They
these
need a
heart
CNA.
attacks also has me. I might think I might need a little young tender thing that's gonna be able to rock the world, rock the world, work the rhythm, work the rhythm when I get there. Cause I ain't even at that place. It's been a very long time since I just can't. Like I'm not giving myself to I don't know you. Who are you?
Right.
And they wanting to come for the everything you got before they even know anything about you, your heart. I can't even call you if I get a flat tire. I can't call you to get me no
Okay.
gas. I can't call you to buy me lunch. I can't but you want my insides. I,
You feeling, Kiana?
So, guys, one shameless plug. This shirt says Right Touch by Kiana. That's one of my 50 million businesses. So, that's my mobile massage business. So, I was told, these hands are like magic. So, I thought I'd put that out there. So, hit your girl up if you want a romantic evening at home or just a stress reliever. I'm your girl. All right. I digress.
let's go.
So, guys, like it's sad to say, I really don't know how to date. I don't know how to date. I don't even know where to begin. So for me, I have, so I'm healing. And
Hmm.
people be like, "Girl, life goes on and you should have moved on by now and all of this stuff." But when something was so traumatic for you that it was like a death, sometimes it takes longer than others.
Yes.
And like you guys were saying, like it's real rancid out here's rank, yo,
Yeah.
like for real. Men are so they're softer than the women, and then the women they're too abrasive. They're the angry black women. They so mean. They so firm. They so this. They have a wall up. They have a this. But if men knew how to be men and took care of women, like back in the day, like what we're used to, how we were raised up, women can sit down and be more in their feminine essence. They don't
Yes.
have to be so masculine. Because if a man truly knows how to lead and he's leading you somewhere, women don't have not one single
Nothing
problem
to
at
say.
all following. And that's one of the problems I'm having. I'm like, God, like the men nowadays, you got to pacify them, you got to nurse them, I'm not used to that.
You
My
gotta
brother in law, huh? What you say, hon?
go.
Right, right. And that's what they want to, especially like the older men. I feel like that's why they gravitate towards the younger women more because they can control them more. Those women stroke their egos more because they're like their savior.
I don't mind stroking your ego if you
That's
ego stroke worthy. I want to
right.
big you
I was,
up.
and I was getting ready to say
I
that
guess
the same
cater
thing.
to. So to
I
But
want
I
to
me,
think,
cater
but
to
that I
you
think
too. I
that's
want to do
right. I
all of
think it's
that.
a mutual thing.
I
I
want to
think
do
it
all
needs
of
to be
that. But I
reciprocal
want you to do that for after you've
as
chosen
well.
me though. You got to choose me.
Right.
I'm not just doing that. It's just thinking we doing that with every dude we date, then what are we doing?
Right. What are you saving yourself for? Who are you
Right.
saving yourself for? If everybody gets the best version or the
Of
best,
yourself. Yes.
of
yeah,
you,
like
of you.
And I'm in agreement with you, Nima. I don't think there's nothing wrong with stroking your man's ego or catering to your man, but is it reciprocal? I think as women, like, it's so much on us to be nurturers. We're nurturing to our kids. That is like a 24/7, a 24-day job when you're a mother, especially if you have small kids that are in your house. There are no days off with that. You don't get a break. It doesn't matter if you're sick, if you well, if you whatever. And I don't think men realize sometimes that your cup does get empty.
Yeah.
And sometimes men, like, I don't, if a woman really loves you and that's, if she's really for you, it ain't always the big things. Sometimes it's the little small things.
It's the
Just
small
having
A
things.
lot of
the
times.
coffee that I like, or just having a drink that you know I like, or just, oh, I know she don't eat that, so let me make sure I got this because I know my lady don't eat that.
Exactly.
Or I know my lady don't, my lady don't like that, so let me, like, I think there's just a certain level of transparency that
Yeah.
we're missing in relationships today. And I think we're so much of an instant, we've become so much of an instant culture where everything is just instant gratification, just instant gratification. Like, everybody thinks that you're supposed to come out and this relationship is just going to be just this perfect relationship because I
With
love
no
you,
work.
you love me, right? But there's no work, not knowing that you see people who've been together for 10, 20,
30
15
years.
years, married,
30.
30 years, the work
30.
that they had to put in to get to a certain point or get to a certain place.
Yeah.
A lot of people just don't see that, and a lot of people don't see communication. They see communication as confrontation.
Yes.
Just because I have an issue with something or I want to talk about something doesn't mean that I want to be confrontational.
Right.
Sometimes it
Exactly.
just means that I want you to acknowledge how I feel and
Yes.
say, you
Exactly.
know what, babe, I'm sorry if you felt that way. That
That
wasn't how
wasn't
it was
my
meaning.
intention.
Yeah, that
Well,
wasn't my intention. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. Or if you feel that way, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come across that way. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth, or people feel like, oh, because we got into one tiff, or we're in a season where things are not, we're, you know, bickering, or we're maybe going back and forth, or things are not aligning with us, that
people are
it's
ready to
automatically,
bounce. They
yeah,
don't put
it's
in the
over.
work.
Mm.
Like,
They ready to
yeah,
bounce.
but not knowing you get with the next person, you gonna meet their
Work.
representative
Yep.
for the first 90 days. Okay, and then after that, they gonna come with something, and the things that they coming with might be worse than what you just left.
Exactly.
So why don't you stick and plant flowers and try to grow and nurture where you at and what you have, versus looking outside of that, trying to find some kind of fulfillment, or kind of, first of all, happiness starts with self. Like, you gotta be fulfilled within yourself, and then what you have with somebody is y'all come together as a collective, and we try to build each other up and love on each other or whatever. And I just feel like, I don't know, like, they make it seem like love is for suckers. Like, and I'm still a hopeless romantic. Like, I still love. I still want to be loved. Like, I
I
still
still
want
want
to,
to love. I want to love.
yeah. Like, I
I
still
want
want,
amazing love. I want that
right.
love
Right.
I
that
I
you
still
want
want,
that
looking at and you be
unconditional
like,
love.
dang, they are
right. Or when you
so
sitting in the car next to
cute.
your man, you like,
What's up,
yeah,
That's
baby?
like,
mine.
That's
That's
love
mine.
mine.
him.
My
Right. So,
man. That's my man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like social media has, especially within the Black community, I feel like social media has messed a lot of things up and pit us men, women against each other. And like you said, with what's going on now in the world, you don't really know who straight up wants you and not looking at your brother on the side. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? Like, you just you.
You really don't know. You really
I will
have
say
no
too,
clue.
like if some people really learn to just stew in they ish, if y'all read between the lines, like a lot of people don't sit in their stuff
Mm-hmm.
and actually deal with those, those things. And I feel like if they had done that, like the older, more mature, their relationships would have been a whole lot different. You know what I mean? Like it could have cultivated to be something so amazing because you
Right.
grew. You grew together. And not only that, you weathered the storms, like
Storm.
have the
Right.
uncomfortable conversations people are so
Right.
afraid of having, but we have to have those.
If you
That's
want some
what
kind of resolution or resolve, you have to.
right. That's what makes us stronger. And it does have to be reciprocal. Like you have to reciprocate. It cannot always be one sided. And a
No,
lot of people, they always put me, me first.
but
And
that's
I
because
had an
they
interesting,
broken.
right. I had an interesting conversation today with one of my clients. He is 74, I think, and his wife is 72. And he married her when she was 16 and he was 18.
Oh.
Right. And I was like, so what's the secret? He was like, guys, too, he wanna come on our podcast. Cause he
Okay.
listened. I was giving him a massage. He was like, I like that music and all, but it puts me to sleep. And I want to feel my massage. So I listen to podcasts. And I'm actually listening to one about cheating. And he was like, interestingly enough, they never cheated on one another. He's like, my wife and I, we never cheated on each other. We have each other's passwords. And he was like, secret is, what did he say? You always put your mate before yourself. And it's reciprocated. So
Yeah.
each other put each other first. And therefore, no one is lacking. He said it's not only physical infidelity, but is financial
Emotional.
infidelity. And I thought I was like, you know what? That is so true. He was like, yeah, because one spouse shouldn't go make a big purchase or buy something small or buying this or whatever the case may be without the other one knowing. And he said a lot of his elderly friends, that was the challenge in their relationship because it was a lot of financial infidelity going on. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And then he said, two, always be sexually active. He said, I'm 74 and my wife is 72 and we don't have no problems
I ain't mad at
That
him.
at
part.
I'm
all.
not.
And another one, he said, he's like,
I'm
oh,
not
I
mad at
forgot
him.
to say this one to you. A lot of people put their children first, the ones that have children before their mates, and you
Hmm.
shouldn't. You should
Right.
always put your
Put your
mate
mate
first.
first. So you
And
supposed to.
but guess what, guys? I'm conflicted about that because I understood and I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, like, and I know this is a rare case. This doesn't always
Mhm.
happen, but case in point, like the mom go off and get married or whatever, and then this dude is molesting, you know what I mean? Or like
Mhm.
messing with the child or whatever. So a lot of those women are still putting their mate before their children because they still believe that mate over the children. So that's why I say I'm conflicted
Well,
in
that's a
like,
different. That's a
Yeah.
no,
different
I know that
I
situation.
is.
think.
Wait,
I
I got
think
one more thing, y'all. One more. I promise this last one. I was telling you guys at the beginning, I don't know how to date, right?
right.
Because my children had all of us, both their mom and their dad. So when their dad left, my baby girl, London, she was 6 years old. London is now 14 years old. So my friends are like, girl, you don't get tired of playing dress up and stuff and hanging around your daughter, while you got some youthful years left in you. Why don't you go date and stuff? I'm conflicted because of all the horror stories and stuff. Like, I don't feel comfortable entertaining around my daughter.
You
I
don't
don't
bring them
never want to
around your
bring a
daughter though,
man.
Right,
No,
and
but
you
what
don't
I'm
have
saying
to.
is you have to date to get to know one another, right? In
but you
order
don't
for
Mhm.
have
you
to
to
date
grow.
around your daughter.
No,
Right.
y'all, listen, it's not about the dating around her. Say we're past the dating stage and it's
Mhm.
serious. And now we're going to be a couple or married or whatever the case may be. In my mind, I still don't want to, because my daughter never seen anyone but her dad around her. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm not comfortable bringing another man around her. So that's why I don't even know how to date. And I'm like, well, she only got a couple more years. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So are
God,
you
And
gonna
I
please
wait
get,
till
hold me
she
I
up.
get, I get
18?
what you're saying to that. I get what you're saying to a certain extent with that, to that aspect. Like my husband, I tell everybody, my husband raised kids that ain't, you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't his. So, but I didn't have him around just initially around my child. Like it took us to a point where we got there, and the way to get to me is how you treat my child. Like I'm not being with nobody that mistreats my children, and because I'm a mother where my children come first, and my eyes is not so much focused on a man or a relationship, it's certain things, or having a man. You understand what I'm? Because I've always been quite comfortable with just how my life was set up, like with just being on my own, being independent, doing everything for myself. I've always kept myself like in good standing. So a man was never a necessity for that. You understand what I'm saying? Although I
Hmm.
need a man, I'm not one of those women that don't feel like I don't need a man. Yes, I do need a man.
Exactly. We
We
need a
all
man.
Okay.
do.
Yes.
Right.
We all do.
So I'm not that girl. But what I'm saying is I wasn't the type of woman who was so fixated on having a man that I'm just gonna throw my kids or how my kids are feeling by the wayside. And I think it also depends on how you parent and what type of rapport you have with your children. Like my children know maltreatment is not a we don't accept that. From I don't care if it's from a family member, I don't care if it's you bring it to my attention and it's for me as your mother, then I go and I advocate, you know what I'm saying, on your behalf.
Hmm.
So I think it all depends on how you set things up. I get it. Like I'm an empty nester finally now. I'm an empty nester. So, like I'm seeing I'm not gonna say I'm dating because I'm only dating one person. I'm with one person. But this is a person that I knew since we were kids. Like I was 11 and he was like 14. And crazy thing is, although we were that young, we still don't know each other. We're still learning each other because we still done been through some things, you know what I'm saying, took place. You're not the same as you was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and vice
Yesterday.
versa. Exactly. So, we're growing into learning one another. And I think a lot of times because I'm me, I'm a Leo. I don't know how to be no other way. I didn't come from a household where kids were seen and they weren't heard. So when I say about being able to be vocal and your kids being vocal, I grew up in a household where you being vocal was part of survival. Like you had to, you know what I'm saying? You were encouraged to speak how you feel and whatever. And I think for a lot of people sometimes that can come across the wrong way,
Yeah.
or what's your truth or what's truth to me can and me voicing that, well, no, this is how I feel, or this is what it is. Like I'm not lying. Like if you don't sugarcoat that or you don't do it with soft hands, a lot of people take that as, oh, you're a smart ass or you're aggressive.
You
Like
too
you
much.
know, right. It's just
Yeah.
like too, you understand what I'm saying? And so I think we're trying to navigate that now. And I'm trying to be like a little softer
Softer.
and yeah, and bring it down and not have so much of my walls and my barriers up. Cause I'm a grown woman. I done been through some things. So of course, you understand what I'm saying? You want to put your best foot forward, but at the same time, you always want to be like a boxer. You want to protect your front and your back, your side, and you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Everything else. So
Hmm.
it just, I don't know. It makes it hard. Like relationships is work.
It's
Like anybody
definitely
say
a
that
lot of work. It's a
Never
that
lot
is
of
ending.
work.
not
Constant.
I don't know. My last boyfriend was 69, and he still stepped outside. No, he
did he
didn't.
look 69?
No, he didn't look
Okay.
69. He had everything I needed it. I needed, but when it came down to me, he was controlling. That was the problem. At the
Mm.
age, he was very controlling and he didn't know how to
Most older
lead,
men are.
and
Mm.
for me, knowing how to lead is the key because I'm experienced. You know what I mean? Like if I wasn't experienced, it probably would have been a better situation. He needs somebody just hush, don't say nothing. I'm not her. Like I'm gonna speak up for what's right, even within yourself. You know what I'm saying? How you talking to people and how you doing things. It doesn't mean that it just because you're older than me doesn't mean that it's right, And I couldn't tolerate like because he was at a certain status and level, he used to look down on people. You know what I mean? And it was just
Mhm.
things that just didn't resonate with my spirit. That I was like, I really don't care what you got going on. That's not for me. So since
Right.
then, it's like dating now. I don't know. I meet a lot of dudes, but it just doesn't. They don't match my energy for real, for real. I'm more so wanting somebody that we can be that, that's ambitious. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not finding, if they got a job, then it's like they cool with just that job and that's it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Wherefore, I do want to do something with my husband. Like, my dude, like, we're going to build, I want us to build
Mhm.
something together. I want us to be all in. Like, I want us to go to the grocery store together. I don't want you to send me to go get an oil change by myself all the time because I've been doing that the whole time, and every time all the dudes at the oil change place is trying to holler. It's just certain things that I want you to go get my gas for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad go make sure my mom car is filled up with gas. I want you to call me sometimes and just be like, Nima, where you at? I want to take you to lunch or bring you lunch or whatever. Like, I want you
Right.
to think of me, and I just don't see where it's a lot of that
No,
going on.
it's
They
not.
want what they want, but
They ain't
what
trying
about
to
what I
give
want?
much.
What about what I
Right.
want? What about you ready to get to what you need? Well, let me tell you what I need. And then when I start talking about what they need, what I need, they be looking like I just met you. Exactly.
Please.
Mhm. Right. That's the point we trying to
It's
make.
kind of weird. Like, and the thing is, I'm not even a needy person. I
I'm
need,
not either.
but I'm being told that because I'm not needy, that's also a negative. So then when I do want to try to act needy and I'm having needy conversations, the dudes is looking like, so it's kind of weird. Like,
I would say like I'm needy, but I'm needy on an emotional. I'm needy
yeah,
to
that's what
an
I said all the
emotional
time.
standpoint, and I think that is because I can honestly say from age 21 to about age 40 something when my last child like left out of the house. I feel like I've been like an emotionally void, right?
Mhm.
I didn't allow myself to feel certain things. I didn't allow myself to be inundated with certain feelings because I was a mother and I couldn't allow certain feelings as far as like depression or certain things to sink in because I felt like once it took a hold of me, I wouldn't come out the same. So a lot of my feelings I pushed to the back burner when not, and it's to the point now where I feel like I'm fucking, excuse the language, and I think I'm going through menopause, so I don't think that's helping, even though the doctor says I'm not. Where I'm over emotional, like any little thing, and I'm like a water baby, and I never like to cry. Like, please, cry what? You better ask your mama to cry
I
because you ain't
think
gonna
we
get it,
get sensitive as we get
gonna
older,
get it
We
though.
from
do.
me.
We get
So
sensitive
it's
as we
like
older.
now to the point, like it's just like this. I need to be emotionally like, like you okay? Like, are you? I need, and I don't think
You
men
want to
get
be
that. Like
held.
they right, and they don't get like it be the little things. It don't even be the big gestures that mean so much to you. Sometimes it just be the little gestures, the simple fact that you just thought enough of me to, like you said, just put gas in my tank
Yes.
or wash my car, or you understand what I'm saying? Like those things mean a lot to me, and I feel
You
like
shouldn't have to
men
tell them everything. You know what I
no,
mean?
and I also think social media make men feel like they have to do everything on such a grand scale that it negates the little things that you could do. I feel like everybody should do things and work within their tax bracket, whatever that is. You understand what I'm saying? No, and I'm serious. Like, and it's no like I'm not saying it to like be in a shady way because somebody that goes out and works for their money, I know what it takes to go out and work and make a dollar. I
Mhm.
know the things that I have
Hmm.
to go through. So for somebody to take their hard-earned money that they worked for and made and want to do something for me, I'm very appreciative of
Appreciative.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, like, and I think a lot of times, like social media got men feeling like if they can't buy you a Cartier, if they can't buy you a Cartier, or they can't buy
They
you a
ain't nothing.
Rolex, or yeah, like then it ain't. What if they can't buy you a Chanel? They can't buy. Sometimes no. The fact that you
I want
got
you
me
to
a
buy me none of that, but
Target gift
invest in this
certificate,
business,
I like
okay?
Target, or I want to go to Zara. Give me
Buy
that
me
Zara
some
gift
lemon pepper
certificate.
all flats. Take me out for lemon pepper all flats. And you thought of me.
It be little things like that, and I think men don't like. A lot of times it doesn't register with them. And one thing I've never been the type of female. I don't never put on a man to do for me what I can't do for myself.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So if it's certain things that I want, certain watches, certain jewelry, certain, I'm gonna buy it for myself if that's what I wanna get. I'm not gonna put that on you, because why should you do something or afford something for me that I can't even afford? You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that if your man is in a position and he has it, that he's not supposed to do it. No, but for me, I'm past that point of materialism. Like,
Yes.
and there's certain qualities that I look for, and certain moral principles and qualities and Christ-like qualities that I want in a
Yes.
man,
Yes.
that's moving with
Please.
purpose and moving with
Yes.
intention, and
Intentional.
how he treats people,
Intentional.
Yes.
and you know what I'm saying, how
That
he do
part.
things when nobody is not looking,
Looking.
and
Yeah.
how there's a level of, outside of being honest with me, but there's a level of transparency. Babe, I'm out with such and such, or babe, I'm about to go here. Not because you got to tell me, not because you got to check in, but because there's a respect level.
A
Yeah.
And
respect.
you understand what I'm saying? I'm my lady, I'm out.
And then
So
you
let me hit
just
my
don't
lady.
know what's happening in life. So you want to make sure I'm good.
That there's
Right,
and that they're safe too. And you know
Yeah.
what,
right,
another thing, women a lot of times they want things from men that, like you just said, Danielle, they not even willing to do, you know what I mean?
right.
Or capable of those things. And you said something earlier, Nima. I feel like men that's very controlling, they lack control. And
Mm,
because they lack control, they have to be in control of
mm,
something because they feel like their life is out of control.
mm.
I
I
never
noticed
looked at
that.
it that way, but
Yeah, I
that's
noticed
a
that
good
a lot
analysis.
about men. And then the other thing is what you was talking about earlier, Danielle. I don't think men realize, like they like their ego stroke. Women want
Mhm.
to feel like little girls, like a soft little safe girl in his
Yeah.
arms or in his presence.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. That takes you far.
But
And I don't think they're
intimacy is
aware of that.
missing,
Right, and
and
it's soft,
that's
and
the
that's
thing.
that's what softens you. That's what
Yeah.
help bring
It
down those.
absolutely
Yep.
softens you.
The
Yep.
men don't, a lot of men don't even know what that
Intimacy is.
means. They don't
Yeah.
know what it look like, but at the same time, they don't know because they haven't
They weren't
encountered
taught.
those type of
They didn't
women,
have, uh-huh.
and
And some
a
too,
lot
they
of
didn't
what
have that
our
role model.
a
Sorry.
lot of what our men are today, we created as well, as
That's
women too. And a lot of what we need, a lot of women have not demanded. I could show receipts of men telling me that women are just, for one, too easy today. All you got to do is buy them a blunt, a bottle, buy them some hookah, and they ready to go. It's so many. It's like they say it like it's a joke, but they're serious. You know what I mean? And I get men that come at me that they're tired of it. And they want a woman that wants more. They want a woman that's ambitious and out here doing things and moving and shaking. But then at the same time, when they get that too, because
a
they haven't had
responsibility.
it and it's a lot of work, they really don't want to put in the work now, So it's definitely, and then I've been meeting a lot of men here lately that are divorced because their women were cheaters. So then that makes me question with them, well, where was your wife lacking? On why was she cheating on you like this? I mean,
Right.
or what was going on with that? So it's a lot of unanswered questions, but I will tell you, for me, I want a man that love Christ, that he's fearing what the most high. You know what I'm saying? He's
Right.
fearing the most high. So he's not gonna want to do anything that's gonna be displeasing to the most high. Just like I'm waking up to be pleasing to the most high in my walk every day. I really try to be very intentional within my walk to make sure that I'm not being like out here, serving the wrong God. So for me, I do want that person that's being intentional and knowing like what he's doing and what he's waking up for and what he's striving for and different things like that spiritually, because then that also can lead me, I feel, in a different direction. Because every time I date these dudes that be for the streets or in the streets or still going out and partying, and I'm just they don't care. Like they gonna meet something hot next at the party, and like that's, you know what I mean. And you keep competing with that, and I'm just not. I'm not even in that space. I ain't really trying to even be out like that. Like that's I done did that already.
Right.
Got
I have a
t-shirts.
question for both of you. Do you know women, and just from experience, just to cheat just cause? Just like,
I can't
Well,
really say, for me, I can't really say that as far as knowing, meaning like people that I associate that cheated just because, no. But have I heard some things about other people? Now, I don't know how true it is. Usually, I think from what I've, just from what I've seen, right? And I can say from also from what I've experienced, I feel like it takes a lot for a woman to step outside. Like I feel like it's when a woman steps outside, it's usually because she knows like that's over, like that situation. I'm emotionally detached from that person, from that situation, from that whatever. But I've just always been a firm believer, like, even if it gets to that point, just tell me. Or just have enough respect for the other person to tell them. Like just leave the situation. Like, what is the sense to go out and cheat? Because that's not gonna solve any issues that, especially if
cause
you coming
more
back to
hurt,
be with that
actually.
person. Right. It's not going to solve any issues that you have with that person. It's not going to resolve anything. You going to get that. You leaving your 80 at home to go get that 20, but not knowing that that 20 come with their share of 20%, 80% BS as well. You understand what I'm saying? That as long as you deal with people, you're going to go through something. You're going to deal with something. It's like me and my boyfriend was talking, and like he just makes these statements sometimes, like, or he had made a statement something about like, I don't know, you might want to like find your person. Like, so I'm like, who's my person? Like, you don't feel like you're my person? Like, just because we're going through something right now, like you don't feel like you're my person? Because I'm not looking at it like that. I feel like you're my person. So I'm supposed to leave you and get with somebody else who might be way worse than you. We going through this little bit tiff right here, which ain't nothing, but I might get with somebody who want to black my eye or, do something else because I say something that they don't like. And they coming with, and then the package may look good from the outside, but it may be rotten to the core on the inside. And you understand what I'm saying? So I just feel like for women, I feel like it takes a lot for us to go there. Like, it takes a lot. I feel like some of us, I don't know, but there's some women, it's just in their spirit. Like,
I just feel you got to be mad grimy, and because I feel like most women it's still not an excuse, like you say, just walk away or have that conversation, that uncomfortable conversation that you need to have. But to say women just be cheating just to cheat, I feel like you just a grimy. Either grimy women do that, but women are provoked, and it's still no excuse. I don't
right.
ever want any male women or whomever to say, "Oh, you're making an excuse." No, it is an excuse. Because you can walk away, but I feel like women are provoked or pushed to that point. 9 out of 10 times, their man is cheating. They know that
yeah.
their man is cheating.
So I
They're
say I was
lacking
a
something
cheater.
emotionally,
You said bitch,
mentally.
you said Nima?
I was a
Would you say?
cheater.
You say you are?
I
You
was.
said she was.
Right, but you
I was
didn't.
a
You
cheater.
weren't grimy. You ain't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna just go out and cheat." I don't think
No,
so.
it
Anyways,
wasn't just I'm gonna go out and cheat, but it was, I mean, it was after going through a lot, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
right.
then it was also me expressing, what wasn't happening. It was me expressing what I needed. It was also me expressing like different things that was going on in the relationship. And yeah, he kept stepping out, but he also kept begging and buying me to stay. I mean,
Yeah.
and then not to mention we had so much together. It wasn't easy to just walk away like I'm done. Like we had a lot together, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, what I teach men today is when you are stepping outside of that relationship, what you're taking away from your household and your girl, whether it's, financially you taking away, whether it's your time you taking away, whatever it is that you're taking
Emotionally.
away, she's find some way to make that up. I'm not getting ready to sit here and be neglected, and I left. You begging me to come back. Okay, I'm coming back. Then I still see the behavior. Okay, now I need to start creating a safe space for myself to start getting over this situation. And I'm always meeting people. So yeah, I start stepping outside because at the end of the day, you outside. You outside. But I was
But you
younger.
got to.
So as an
That's what I was going to say.
yeah, I
How
was
many years?
younger.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
Mhm.
how
Now,
many years
as a
ago was
grown
that?
up, I'm not tolerating none of that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? As a grown up, as a woman today, the red flags are the red flags, and I have to go. I don't have time. For one, it's dangerous out here to be just doing the most. So I just don't have time for you to play with my feelings, play with my health, play with my anything. Like I just don't have time for it. So, and I will say I'm so comfortable with myself and I'm so happy with myself that if I don't have anyone, I'm not unhappy. I'm hopeful and I'm excited for the next experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Right.
I know what it looked like, I know what it feel like, I know what I want. So when the Most High send that son that He's been preparing for me, that I've been asking for, then I'm all open arms. I'm excited. It'd be so funny when I go out and I date and I be sitting there looking at the dude and I'm like, is this him, God? Like, you know what I mean? And when I gotta ask that question just one too many times, I be like, yeah, no, this not. And I don't even have to go on another date, to try to figure it out. I already know you're not the one, and I'm gonna tell you, like, we can be friends. Like, I'm your friend, I'm your girl. Like, what you need? Like, we cool. I'm down with you for your friendship, but I'm not interested in moving forward, and we not going into no relationship.
A lot of people keep saying, "Oh, I'm waiting for who God has for me, or that special male that He created just for me." A lot of times, women forget to do the inside work. If we're not doing the inside work on us to be receptive or in a
Right.
good space and place for when He sends that special gentleman He created just for us, it's going to prolong it. So we still got to do the work. And a lot of women don't do the work. We
Well,
like to
I've been
blame
doing the work.
and, oh, yeah, I live by doing the work. I
I've been
mean,
doing the
now,
work.
I,
I
I
done
didn't
done so much
always,
work. I
yeah, I
had to
wasn't
definitely
always here.
heal. I know I had to heal because I wasn't over two of my exes. I wasn't over them, you know what I mean, for a minute. Like I was still not comparing, but because they kind of raised me and taught me, how to be treated because I was treated so well. I mean, I was spoiled. The girl was spoiled over here, and I'm still spoiled. But now I took what they taught me and I started treating myself that way. I started spoiling myself that way. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like it's a better balance because I've always been that giver. I've always been
Right.
that wife. I always walk in the door being a wife, and that's the
Right.
problem. I've had 6 marriage proposals. They all wanted to marry me, but I didn't never want to marry them because they wasn't giving me everything that I needed. I was just
Right.
still, and I will tell you, I was a little bit of a punk too. I used to be like, God, I wish she just break up with me. Oh my God, I used to be like that. I used to be like, please just
I used
leave
to be
me.
like that to a certain extent because I just didn't want to be labeled as. I didn't want to be labeled as the bad
No, I
person.
did. That's how I
But
was. I didn't want to break nobody heart. I didn't want to break. Listen, it's ooh
let me ask you, ladies, this question: do you feel you've ever truly been in love?
no.
Do any of you feel?
I don't feel
Oh, I have.
I have loved, but I've never been in love. No.
You said you have, Kiana.
I have. Yeah.
And what made you know that you were in love? Like, what was the pivot that you know? Okay, this ain't the regular schmegula right here.
I think too, when you realize like it's not just about lust, because a lot of people are in lust
Right.
and they equate that for love. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? They mistake that for love. They feel like they're in love, but I guess like that butterfly type of like ooh, and you just look at him and you like ooh, ooh, ooh.
I had that a few
That
times.
no, but I mean, well, to each his own. To each his own. So, like, oh, that's my man. And like he makes me, he made me feel like that little girl I was
Right.
talking about. And not only
Right.
that, because of how he was with me, I was softer. The only man that ever, you know what I mean, contribute to my softness. So me, it allowed me to be more in my feminine essence. To
Mm-hmm.
me, that's what I equate love with. Because all the other times I'm so masculine, that wasn't love. But I feel like when you're loved properly, and like you said, you don't have to ask for nothing, you don't have to want for nothing, and they want more for you than
Like
sometimes
they
you want for
want for
yourself,
yourself.
and they're gonna make
Exactly.
sure that you are okay, like you're always good, and the people that are attached to you are good. I mean, that's just some of the things I equate,
I mean,
and
I
don't
had
have to
that
guess,
too, though.
worry,
That's the
or
thing,
wonder.
though. That's the catch-22 with it. Like, my dudes were good. They were
One
good
more
to me.
important thing: you feel like that one you don't ever want to have to cheat on, or you don't even be thinking about cheating.
Right.
You don't be
Yeah,
thinking about
no.
nobody else.
Yeah. That's the
That
part. That's why I know I wasn't in love. Because as soon as
you
they
know
was
what? I can't
outside, I
stand
was
her.
like, you outside?
I can't
Let me
stand
show you
Nima.
what outside really is. Terrible. But I want to
Feeling
be in love.
fulfilled.
I want to
Feeling
be in love.
fulfilled.
I
Yeah.
want to. Feel fulfilled.
But I will say though, and I know this all about no judgment zone and a safe space, and if I can be all the way honest and transparent, although I felt all those things, it
What?
still wasn't a truthful relationship. You know what I mean? It wasn't a
Okay,
real,
it was a. It was. I'm not gonna. You can't say it wasn't truthful. Just say it was complicated.
very complicated, very
Okay,
Mm.
complicated.
I know. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know exactly who you're talking about. So yeah, you can just say that wasn't complicated, but you can't say it wasn't truthful because it was truthful between. That was a truth that was held between you